All right, sounds like we finally got somebody up in the space. Little housekeeping notes. How's it going, guys? Starting off 30 minutes late. Just got it done with a 10-hour drive from Louisiana. Was up in Mississippi for a softball tournament, collegiate softball tournament for my sister. Sadly, did not pull away with the three-peat championship back to back to back, but it's all right. Still was able to catch the fights last night while I was roaming the streets of Louisiana. Some pretty good fights. I know a little people were disappointed about the main event being another Derek Lewis main event, but wasn't mad at it. It ended up being a pretty good card. Like always, we'll start from the bottom. JJ Aldrich versus Veronica Harding. Bringing up some of these lines, it was always going to be the over goes the distance. Fight goes the distance minus 415. No way that you could have bet that unless you were putting it on a parlay. Over 2.5 rounds was minus 450 as well. The lines that you could have hit for sure were going to be Hardy wins decision plus 105, and I ended up taking Veronica Hardy's money line at the closing of minus. I think I actually got minus 109, but here it says minus 110. Just an easy put a unit on there to get a unit back. Yeah, it was Veronica Harding kind of got the fight pretty easily. JJ did have some of her moments, spent a lot of the time trying to rack up some control time and win with that. But Veronica did a good job of turning her off the fence, landing the shots, especially when they would separate. The left hook was a magnet whenever they would exit that clinch. So yeah, damage over clinch control, damage over control time. Story that we've heard way too often this year. Yeah, Veronica Hardy kind of made it look easy. On to the next, Charles Johnson versus Jake Hadley. In the chat, I had put that Charles Johnson is just another version, an American version of Zalga Zamagulov, in the sense of he is always going to get you the over. He's not going to finish a fight, and it's always going to be a super tight fight at that. So should have hit the over, should have parlayed it, and yeah, I mean, most of the time I say that Zalgas is going. I mean, not Zalgas. Charles Johnson is going to lose a split decision, but on those off chances, you're gonna get that line at a lot of plus money. So it's always willing to hit. I personally did take Charles Johnson by decision. Let's get into some of these lines. Charles Johnson closed at minus 119, over 2.5 rounds, minus 262. Kind of told you exactly what was going to happen. A fight goes the distance, minus 240. And scroll down. Johnson wins by decision, plus 175. I believe I got it at a different line. It's loading. Give me a second. Uh, yeah, scroll down. What did I get it at? I guess it doesn't tell you after it's already cashed. But yeah, I took Charles Johnson by decision. I'll just say I took it at the plus 175 that it was offering here on the on fight odds. But yeah, when you see these fighters that you know are definitely going to give you an over, you just take the over and you call it a night. If you can see here in the pinned tweet, I'm going to start sharing. Of course, Usman is my original page. I'm going to start sharing the split strat. As you can see on the left, on the first picture, those are the percentages of everything that's hitting. On the second picture, that is the strat written down. I personally did hit the parlay. When you see that yellow goes to distance at minus money, there's a very high possibility of it going to the over. It was yellow for the Hardy fight, the CJ fight, the Richie fight, and the Woodson fight. we all know those fighters go the distance. So I went ahead and parlayed all those, cashed a little four leg, which was great. And then you see there at the very bottom, a new thing I added to the strat results was a parlay cashing on minus goes the distance. 7 of 16, 43.75%, which in my opinion for a parlay is pretty good. It honestly just reinforces me on my thought to just go ahead and bet the over on everything that has a minus goes the distance, whether it's minus 250, put $25 in there, win your $10, or put $250, get your $100. Like most of the time, it's going to be hitting. So I'm definitely going to be doing that more often. I know I always say I'm going to take the strat a little bit more religiously. I think it's finally time to. Um, the odds are the results are right there. But on to the next one, Trey Waters, Billy Golf. I really didn't have a take on this one going into the fight. I didn't care for either one of these guys. It seemed like it was a real sloppy fight. I was on a boat. I was on a gigantic boat in the middle of the Mississippi River, watching it on my phone while also trying to take my wife on a little date night kind of shit on vacation. So didn't really pay attention to this one much either because I just really didn't give a fuck. Trey Waters cashes at minus 157, over 2.5 rounds, plus 150. Fight goes the distance, plus 180. I know there were a lot of people thinking that this was going to finish. So if you went the distance, you cashed pretty good on that. And then it would be Waters by decision, scrolling down, plus 475. Like I said, personally, I didn't have much on this fight. I didn't really care about it. But there was definitely some lines to be cashed, especially on some big plus money when it came to Trey Waters and hitting his decision line. Somebody got the request. Rodrigo, how's it going, brother? I know I just Lomachenko, what?
Did you not bet on Lomachenko to beat this Australian fucking commie?
Oh, I didn't even watch that, man. Like I said, I was watching the UFC and on a date night, so I really don't even have anything on that. But we're just talking UFC right now. Towards the end, after we get to the
Oh,
card, we can talk about some of that.
bro, I was sad about the new Ngannou. Remember that Cuban guy that looked really fucking big, 6'7", got his ass beat.
Oh,
I
we'll
mean, I
get
thought he
there.
was here gonna be a bad motherfucker.
We'll get there for sure. I'm gonna try to fly through these bottom ones. We don't got a lot of people on the mic. Just the way that we flowed through it. On to the next one. Tabitha Ricci decision. I know there were some people thinking that it was kind of a robbery. Um, I really didn't care since I was holding a Tabitha Ricci card. Uh, over 2.5. Opening it up right here. That was another line right there that you get to hit. Minus 550. Nobody wants to hit that, but easily goes and cashes in a parlay if you go ahead and hit it. Fight goes the distance, minus 450. And then scroll down to Richie wins by decision. You could have gotten a little bit of money there, plus money at plus 110. I just went ahead and took the money line at minus 145. I guess kind of tough fight to
Honestly,
score.
hey, bro. Honestly, last week or several weeks ago, if he told me bet on Ryan Garcia or that other guy, I would have bet on the other guy instead of Ryan Garcia. I can't believe he beat him. That was like a cash grabber. That like I mean, he the fuck beat him, and it was an amazing fucking win. Like it was just his dick was in your face, Captain Calm,
All
and
right.
you have to.
Cash and Trash UFC St. Louis bet review, brother. We ain't talking Ryan Garcia. He had the show for about a couple of weeks, a couple of months with all the crazy antics that he had. So we ain't talking Ryan Garcia. We're just going through this fight card of UFC last night. And like I said, the open mic really opens up towards the end of the show where we get to talk about whatever we want. Um, but yeah, Tabitha
Okay,
Ricci.
motherfucker. Okay, well, the black beast from Houston, where I'm from, threw his fucking jock at people.
All right,
Did
we
he?
will get.
Did his junk land in your face? Are you smelling his dick right now? Because he threw it at somebody. He threw it at a.
Man, first time I've ever had to remove somebody from the mic, man. Hate that I have to do it, but come on, come on. Um, yeah, we'll get to Black Lewis and the cup for sure. I have a lot to say about Derek Lewis and that fight, so we'll get there. But Esteban Ribovic, Terrence McKinney, hey, don't bet against, and I'm sure Ribovic is going to take his losses, but in this fight, don't bet against a pretty boy with a chin, man. He went in there, fucking, he's willing to fight, and brought in some fucking power and got snubbed from the 50K bonus with the damn head kick that set Terrence McKinney out. I see some assholes out here sharing memes. Of a picture of McKinney when he's passed out and got arrested, overdosed on drugs. It just so happens he's sitting up against a fence, and in this fight, he got knocked out and is sitting up against a fence. So the correlation is there, but sucks to see, man. Not something you want to joke about when somebody almost dies. Um, Esteban Ribovic goes ahead. He closes at minus 146. The over under was set at 1.5. Under 1.5 was minus 220. Good little parlay piece. I didn't add it to anything personally, even though um, McKinney's either gonna kill or be killed in round one. Scrolling down, Ribovic wins inside the distance minus 150. Nobody wants to take minus money on a prop like that, but it did cash. It did cash for sure. Ribovic by KO plus 125. You could have found a little bit of plus money on there. Ribovic in round one plus 200. Scroll down for Ribovic round one KO plus 375. So there actually was money to be made there. Um, I personally didn't have anything on the fight. Just to double check. YB, go ahead and take it.
Ah, man, I was just gonna say that was a really sad fight for me. I used to be a fan of McKinney, but yeah, I mean, it just sucks to see that man get ended against Cage like that. I thought it was gonna go over a round or two, round and a half. I thought it was gonna go late, and then I mean, you just got to give props. He came out and deaded him in one combination. I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah, I had to go back and double check to see if I did bet anything on this one, and I did. I took Ribovic KO 2 and 3 just to see if it would get extended a little bit. It was just a donation because McKinney is gonna kill or be killed in round one. Like I said earlier, personally, I know a lot of people are talking about cutting McKinney. I don't mind him staying on the roster simply because he is a very good tool for putting a banger of a fight on the early prelims and fraud checking some young guys that either do deserve or don't deserve to be in the UFC. So I know a lot of people are calling for him to be cut. I don't mind seeing Terrence McKinney stick around and even a little bit longer. It happens. It happens. He got fucking flatlined by a head kick KO. Don't want to shit on him too much for that because that hurt enough on its own. Up next,
Sorry to interrupt, but who got the bonus over him?
who got the bonus? I believe it was Carlos Diego Fiera, and I'd have to look it up, man. I don't know. I know CDF got one. I don't know anybody else that did. I would assume it was probably Buckley and Lewis, but not too sure. Yeah, next one, Vyacheslav Borisov or Slava Claus versus Chase Hooper. Slav goes ahead and closes at minus 111. Damn, I was sweating my tits off, scared of this fight because I took the over on a 7 leg parlay, and the over was at 1.5 rounds, minus 135. And for the amount of fucking sweat that I dropped, I wish that was at least a plus money because that was really tight. Chase Hooper comes out in the first round, drops him with the hands, just completely mauls him, and with all the damage and grappling done in that first round. It was pretty easy for him to come out and do the same thing in the second. Fight goes the distance. Fight ends inside the distance, minus 350. The writing was on the wall. They knew exactly what was going to happen there. I know there were a lot of people who had Hooper by KO, which was probably a juicy, crazy line, and they should have probably gotten it. Hooper wins inside the distance, plus 170. Got a little bit of plus money there. Scroll down to Hooper wins by submission, plus 225. Another lesson of like, I know there was, this isn't the best example because there was many opportunities for Hooper to get the KO via ground and pound, but just another example of like, kind of bet on the highest likely outcome that's going to happen, and most of the time you're going to cash. Hooper was probably always going to get a submission here, and at plus 225, can't be mad at it at all. Cannot be mad at it at all. Scroll down. Hooper wins in round two, plus 700. And then even a little further, Hooper wins in round two by submission, plus 900. So I personally don't like Borshov. I make the joke that I say I don't like him because he looks like Peter Yan, white guy, bald head, little beard, all that stuff. Uh, I also don't like him because he's shown those takedown defense issues, and once again, it just came to bite him in the ass. Uh, somehow, I'd like to see Borisov get cut more than I'd like to see McKinney get cut. Or if they're since they're both at 155, let's have them fight each other. Loser goes home kind of match. But not really much more to say on that one. On to the next one, scrolling back up, trying to find the lines. Ooh, this was the crusher for everybody. So I had that 7 leg parlay that would have cashed, but and that would have cashed for about 5 units. Uh, but I had the under 1.5. I personally went ahead and played the over 1.5 as a hedge because I thought the rest of the legs were going to cash regardless, and they did. Um, I also thought either way, Robellis either finishes Acosta early in the first round, or I would think that Waldo would get him tired and finish him early as well. We haven't seen Robellis go very long, and hey, fuck me. We know what Waldo's gonna do. I come here every Waldo fight and hype him up. It's semi a joke. It's semi that I am a fan. He's not going to be a champion or anything, but he fights smart. Every once in a while, throws a tiny ass little leg kick to keep you away. He keeps his head away from some of these big swings that these heavyweights throw. He also does a good job of tucking his chin into his shoulder whenever he's turning with some of these punches. Like I'm not gonna say he's got Mayweather defense, but it's good enough for heavyweight. And what he showed here in this fight his takedowns and his grappling. He's not going to be a DC and Olympic level wrestler, but it's good enough for heavyweight and good enough to go ahead and maul a Taekwondo champion and just hold his ass down. Who is a fucking giant, 6'7", 80 something reach, like yeah, he had the deck stacked against him, and he pulled a classic Waldo performance, making it kind of look pretty fucking easy. Going to some of these odds, plus 212, kind of, really was sad about not hitting the Waldo by decision because that's usually how he's gonna win. That one knockout in the UFC so far was a fluke, and it was because the fighter that he was fighting sucked even more. But fight goes the distance plus 500. I'm assuming we're gonna get some crazy juicy lines here when it comes to this fight. Uh, Scrolling down, Waldo wins by decision plus 800. Yeah, that's once again we're talking about Hooper and submission. It's Waldo by decision. You always slam that. You always fucking slam that. Not slam it, but you bet it. Why? Because if Waldo's gonna win, it's gonna be by a decision. And Waldo is always going to be a free over, even when he's fighting a fucking Terminator like Robellis Despaigne. Young boy.
I just gotta give you your props, bro. I make a joke every time whenever you do the Waldo, Waldo. I make a joke every single time. You were fucking spot on. He came out and did exactly what you wanted him to do. That boy earned his fucking money. He should have hit the Nate Diaz, I'm not surprised, motherfucker, on the mic afterwards. Like, that was really a great performance. And I'm very jealous I didn't hit that fucking line too, because I didn't even think about it. I was just thinking Homeboy was going to stomp a mud hole in him and, move about his business. But nope, he got it. You're right on this one.
Yeah, and like I said, most of the time the Waldo is a joke, but I do like the guy. I think he's going to be a great measuring stick when it comes to anybody in heavyweight to top 15, maybe even top 10. I mean, he may be a little older, but we know heavyweights age out older or later. And I personally think that you can always come and learn more stuff if you really put yourself to it, no matter the age, when you're young in the sport. As for Robellis, I wonder what line will get him next. I wonder who we're going to put him against next. I personally would love to see him face one of the people that Waldo has faced in Andrei Arlovsky, because Andrei Arlovsky is definitely going to have the ability to fight smarter, move on the outside, and probably get a takedown. Robelis, you better be able to knock out a fucking 74-year-old man. If not, you're in big, big trouble. But if that's that, we'll go on to the next one. Alex Caceres, Sean Woodson. I really thought Caceres was gonna have a chance here to steal a decision, strike from the outside, use different angles, circle, 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 mixing takedowns whenever he could. But we knew at the end of the day this was just going to be a striking affair, and it was going to hit the over. This would be the final leg on the parlay. When you go back and look at that strat, all yellows, you hit the over. Went ahead and hit that four leg for, I think it was about 3 units profit. Um, but yeah, great fight, back and forth. Like I said, don't have much to say about a lot of these because at this point I am doing the whole date night in Louisiana. Um, Sean Woodson looked good. Alex Caceres looked good. I know there's a little bit of controversy between the scorecards. Not really willing to fight it out with anybody on whoever you thought won. Sean Woodson, St. Louis guy, hometown crowd. I know we had talked about the little video that they had done on him about his mother losing a shitload of money gambling. So always a little bit of narrative to put on that. Some lines that you could have hit. Sean Woodson minus 280. Fight goes the distance minus 260. Over 2.5 rounds minus 290. And then we scroll down here to Woodson wins by decision minus 125. I hate to see that much minus money, but there you go. Those were the winning lines. Aussie, glad to see you on the mic, man. You want to go and say something about the fights from before? I know you had some stupid line with that Robellis fight for sure.
Yeah, fuck that guy, man. That was brutal to watch. Um, yeah. I got stuck at him, man. I made money off him his first fight. Lost 4 units on him here. I had 2 units on him KO1 and 2 units KO2, thinking if he wins in round one, I just make a tiny profit. Wins in round two, that was going to be like 8 or 9 units profit. But I hope he got there, but he really had nothing. He really had nothing after that first round. All he did really was get laid on. He didn't take really any damage. He just used all of his energy just laying on his back. It was strange. But yeah, he's definitely a fade moving forward. I would actually bet Arlovsky sub in that, probably get 20 to 1 or something crazy. But he has absolutely nothing. But I had a 4 unit bet also on this fight, and Bruce Leroy kind of did better than I thought. I thought Woodson was going to really. I thought round two and three were going to look just like round one, but unfortunately, Well, fortunate because I was on the right side here, but Bruce Leroy gave him a fight, man. He really did, and I don't think he even got one judge's scorecard, did he? I think it was unanimous.
No, so I know a lot of I know somebody had posted it in the group chat, but I haven't checked out the scorecards myself. I
Yeah,
think it was
I
a
think he got
30-26. Was there a 30-26 in there?
no. I think 30-27. As soon as I heard 30-27, I knew it was Woodson because that first round was the easiest round to score, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I really
I could be wrong. I could be thinking of a different fight, but I'm pretty sure that's
no.
what happened there. But he looked great in round one.
From what I saw, yeah, it was Woodson round one, and then Caceres was picking it up towards the end. I thought he would be able to take the decision, but Woodson's good, and especially if you're gonna just keep it in a striking fight with him. So it happens. Not too mad about it. Didn't play either on the money line. Just said let me go ahead and just cash this four leg, and we'll end it right there. And
Yeah, it was his hometown too, so that might have had something to do with it. You know, all the crowd oohing and ahhing every time he does something. So that can sway the judges
yeah,
sometimes.
I said earlier, Charles Johnson is going to lose a split decision 9 times out of 10, but hometown, he goes ahead and takes a unanimous decision.
Yep.
On to the next one. Carlos Diego Fiera, Matush Rebecki. I feel like I was the only person in the world on Carlos Diego Fiera, partly because, like I said in the chat, his gym is 20 minutes away from me. So I got to rep a hometown guy. And then two, I just kept on telling everybody, look at his losses. Benil Dariush, Matuz Gamrot, Dustin Poirier, like Carlos Diego at 39 years old is not going to be a champion or a top five anytime soon. But there was nothing really impressive to me about Rebecca besides his dog, the dog inside him, going the distance. I believe with Loic Resbach I can't remember how to say his name, but
Ruzaboev, I think.
yeah. I just call him Loic because it's a little bit easier. Um, but Rebecca, a dog. He's got striking. He's got grappling. Um, I've said it multiple times in the 155 division. You have to have something special about you. Uh, Gamrot, the specialness of him is going to be the insane pace of grappling and striking. Dustin Poirier, he's got the power and the rain that he brings on you with the striking. But Neo Dariush is kind of a jack of all trades. He's got a lot of power, not the best striker, but he's going to be able to grapple and roll with you. So I just thought Carlos Diego Fiera was going to be the side, and I told everybody if you're betting Rebecca at -400. You're crazy. I said go kill yourself, but to be a little more PG, you're crazy. Lines that lines that cashed. Carlos Diego at +350. I went ahead and put him on a four leg that ended up cashing, made it pretty sweet. Um, Over 2.5 rounds +130. Scroll down to Carlos Diego wins inside the distance +750. Like a lot of these lines were just some of those where you had to have hit something. Diego Fiera by KO +900. We're going to scroll down to Fiera in round three, finishing round three +1,800. And then Fiera by KO round three +2,500. So there was a lot of money to be made on the money line or all of these ridiculous props. YB.
This is one of those fights where I was on the same. I had the same idea. Like I didn't end up betting shit, but I wanted so bad to take CDF just because of. I think there's like this is more a diatribe on like the way they match make. They wouldn't have put it CDF against somebody like Rebecca if they didn't think he was gonna win, in my opinion. Just because they're building him back from a 4-loss win streak. Whenever that happens, they hardly ever just like throw you to the wolves immediately. And I think there's a lot of stuff we need to pay attention to, like in the future, with some of these people that everybody's just like, yeah, not he has no chance, has no chance, has no chance. Like minus 400 should have been the first indication because all week the line did not move
No, yeah, I agree. Four loss streak against really big names that they want to
like
push.
hardly at all on either side, and that should told you.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, man. Seeing these lines and seeing the movement definitely shows you something. And then just knowing the fighters, I love Carlos Diego Fiera. Always gonna rep him because of the hometown stuff. But when you look at it, he's kind of like a lightweight, and I'm always gonna use this fighter as an example for these. Gerald Mearshart. Um, he's gonna take some losses against the people they want to push, and then they're gonna give him a couple of wins just so that. He stays in the good graces and that you can keep him on the roster to push the next fighter they want to push. Aussie.
Yeah, I was kind of in the same thinking. I had CDF. I looked at the props, man. I had him round two sub at I think 41 to 1, and round three sub at 66 to 1. I can't believe I just didn't play those round props as well. Like I seem to do this all the time, and I always say next time I'm just gonna maybe put half the size of the bet and also include the round props. But I didn't do it again here, and I'm just it's going to be automatic from now. I'm just going to do it because those lines were off. The same thinking of getting the sub late was because I thought he might gas, like we've seen him do before. And that's exactly what happened, man. He ended up with both eyes shut. And that ref, man, he was going to let him get killed in there. And then he stops it with a few seconds left. It was crazy. But he had a lot of ground control in that third round. And I really thought he had a chance of getting a sub. But Rebecca's tough, man. He did not want to give up his back to get finished. He just didn't like you. No one would have blamed him if he just took an easy way out. But man, he was just getting pounded, and he's a tough guy. And I still like Rebecca going forward. He's going to learn from this. You can't just bulldoze everybody because you think you're a minus 400 or minus 500 favorite. Like there's 3 rounds, and if you're really good at this, there's 5 rounds, and he's going to need to learn to pace himself a little bit more, and just not think he's going to bulldoze through everybody because yeah, going forward, he's probably going to get a couple of easier matchups, but then he's going to be thrown back in again. So, yeah, I'm still going to like this guy going forward, but CDF, and we're going to see it in this next card. These Brazilians, no USADA, man, these 30, 40-year-olds are looking like 30-year-olds. So don't sleep on Barboza next week.
Yeah, this was one of those fights where I told my wife, I was like, "Hey, check it out, this guy's from the valley," and I live right on the Mexican border, very tip of Texas. So he's not getting those Brazilian supplements. He's probably getting that Mexican meat that Canelo's always on. Um, but she was watching over my shoulder and she was like, "What is he waiting for? Like, why did they even let him go out into the third round? Both of his eyes are completely swollen shut. Like already in the middle of the fight, his eyes are purple, and there's no way he can see. I really don't know how the judge let that go on for 3 rounds. I don't know how the doctor let him go into that third round. And at that point, my wife said, "Well, fuck it, man. He's only got like a minute left into this last round. Just let him finish. You already let him take this much of a fucking beating. At least give him the moral victory of going the distance." But who knows? Who knows what that ref had a bet on? Because he let him go for as much as he could. Next fight, Carlos Olberg versus Alonzo Menafield ends in 30 seconds. Alonzo, no fucking clue what he was thinking, just running at Olberg, hands down, hands at his fucking hips. Ran at him so much that he probably, it looked like he got hurt hitting his face up against the fence. Olberg turns him around, lands a couple clean ass punches. Love to see the accuracy of Olberg even getting him with that right hook slash uppercut as he's already falling down. Olberg, easy work, opening up these odds right here. It was at 1.5 rounds. Over 1.5 was minus 177. This one did kill me because I did think Olberg would take a little more time. I had already cashed a parlay, cashed a couple straight plays. I put in 2 parlays with the Oh no, it was the Diego Fiera fight. I thought that would go under. So, I had over 1.5 in the Buckley fight, over 1.5 or under 1.5 in the Olberg fight, and then under 2.5 in the Diego Fiera fight. So that one killed me. But I did have Olberg on another parlay, a four leg. Um, yeah, under 1.5 was pretty easy. Goes down, fight ends inside the distance, -250. Oberg wins inside the distance, -130. Hate to take some props at minus money, but that was a seemed to be a pretty easy one. Oberg wins by KO. They weren't going to give you any plus money for this one either. -105. If you got it early, maybe you got some plus money, but -105 still kind of sucks. Oberg in round one +250, and then Oberg round one KO +300. So they were really, really not trying to give you anything. You a 50-point difference between round one and round one KO. And I understand Oberg's not going to go out and submit anybody, but they weren't trying to give you shit for this one. Aussie.
Yeah, the same here. I liked Olberg here going in. I didn't really like his number that much, but yeah, I mean the money should have been on the KO. I thought it was going to go a bit longer. I thought both guys in the big cage might be a bit weary of each other's power, but he just bum rushed, ran headfirst in the fence like that fat judo girl versus the little girl that's floating around the internet. Headfirst in the cage, hilarious, and then knocked out. Precision punching, man, from Allberg ran. Every punch was on the button, right on the ear, bang, 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 and 12 seconds gets the job done. He'll get a quick turnaround. He'll be back in Perth for UFC 305 or whatever it is, and he's probably going to get a decent shot. He's probably going to get a good opponent that is going to put him higher up in the rankings. So yeah, excited for him. Menafield, don't know what he was thinking. Um, but he probably should have gone for a takedown instead of just going batshit crazy with the hands and hoping for the best because yeah, it didn't work out too well for him there.
Yeah, if you're gonna bum rush towards the legs and try to get that takedown, that was it was probably some of the stupidest shit we've ever seen in the UFC. Um, Almost as dumb as Chelsea Chandler just turning her back and running away from Norma Dumont. Uh, yeah, Oberg, I think what they do is they try to get him in the top 15 already. If Dominic Reyes is healed up, I think they just retry to make that fight. I know they've already tried to twice. I think that's a good fight. Dominic Reyes is washed. His chin is kind of gone. Should be an easy win for
Yeah.
Oberg in Perth. But also, Dominic Reyes is not that stupid of a striker. So we might see a little more when it comes to Oberg. YB.
This is another one of those fights where you see a pattern. There's a bunch of times where you'll see certain fighters that the UFC wants to push, and they'll try to make a fight, and it'll fall out, and they keep making the fight. Whenever that happens, it's like a it's like an instant give me of like this. They want this dude to die. So this week, whenever I saw hella people, and there was a lot of people on Minifield. I'm sure they're quiet after the fact, but there were a lot of people on Minifield. And the other day on Spaces, I was just like, "Yeah, he sucks," and that was all I said because he like you can't have two fights with Crute and then think you're gonna stand a chance versus Allberg. Like it's just that's not how the sport works.
Yeah, I mean, I did see a lot of people talking about Manifield by submission. And yeah, like you said, they're very quiet after the fact. And when it comes to Manifield, you're being coached by Pat Barry. That's it. That's the final statement. We're on to the next fight. Co-main event time. We're flying to this card. Joaquin Buckley versus Nursultan Ruziboev. I really thought this was going to be an easy over because Ruziboev can't have that ridiculous power at 170. I believe somebody had said all his losses are at 170, and Buckley's got power himself, but if he was gonna win, he was gonna have to drag this fight out a little bit, whether it be clinching up against the fence, getting the takedowns like he did, or I'm not a huge fan of Buckley or his game, but he does a good job of skirting on the outside and blitzing in. I know it was a little harder because fucking Bruzabov has got heavyweight length at 185, 170. But and it did cause some trouble. But he made his way in. I know there were some people complaining that Buckley got the takedowns and didn't do much with them, but I think he did just enough. Landed a little bit on the feet too, and Rizabov to me just didn't really land anything completely clean. I missed a little bit of that first round. I heard somebody say that Ruzabov landed something very clean and got him hurt and stumbling, and I think that was the only round that Ruzabov landed or won. But I thought the over was pretty easy here. Um, Took Buckley on the final four leg that went ahead and cashed. Just because I thought overall more complete fighter. 1.5 was set at minus 175. Fight goes the distance plus 220. And then Buckley by decision plus 375. Uh, Buckley really wanted he really wanted this main event. He really wanted to show out here in front of his home crowd, and he turned around very quickly. I don't know where they're gonna go with him. I don't know what they want to do pushing him forward. He's already got a Vicente Luque win, which is way better than this one. It's time to give him top 15, in my opinion. He's made a splash in this division. Go ahead, Aussie, and then send it to Za.
Yeah, Buckley's doing everything right. He's on the mic acting a fool. I don't get the Conor McGregor call out. Like, he's better off calling out a fight he's actually got a chance of getting. Even if Conor says yes, do you really want to sit on the sidelines for 2 years waiting for him? Like, it was a bit of a wasted call out, I think. Um, as far as the fight goes, man, I was pissed. I had Buckley round 3 KO. That was 10-1. If that hit, man, it would have been a monster night for me. Um, but unfortunately, the ref was ready to see people fucking die tonight. These refs weren't fucking around. They had all the fights to go the distance, no doubt. Um, yeah, that really sucked. Also had him in a round robin. That if that had a came in, that's 10x everything. It would have been monstrous. But yeah, unfortunately, yeah, Ruzaboev, this all of his fights, I think, all of his losses, I think, at 170. He does his best work at 185. He's huge. He's really big, and that cut must be really hard for him. Move back up to 185, I think. That's probably where he's best off at. He's got a lot of work at 170. Maybe just move up, start fresh again at 185. See how he goes from there. That's it for me.
Yeah, he even looked a little bony here at 170. Like he just looked a lot more fuller at 185. Za, nice to see you, brother. Glad you grabbed the mic. What you got for us?
Yo, what's good, everybody? How you doing, Usman?
What it do, dog?
Dylan. Yeah, Buckley. Very surprised by his performance. He did good. I agree with a lot what Ozzy had to say. About him, about that. Um, he cashed a parlay for me, which was nice. Um, but what's next for him? I think it's gonna be Gilbert Burns. Like you said, he Vicente Luque was a great win, so he's got to fight another top rank opponent after that.
Yeah, the Gilbert Burns fight just makes sense. Based on both of their what shall I say, projections or the way that their career is going. Gilbert Burns on the downslope, Walking Buckley coming on up. He was able to show some grappling here. He have to show some grappling defense in that fight, and then land some really good strikes. Aussie.
Yeah, sorry, just on that Burns is who we should have called out, man. That's a really winnable fight for Buckley. Um, yeah, I'm surprised he didn't do a call out like that. Shoot your shot, cooler guy, you know you're gonna get, and immediately someone's gonna come back at you and say, "Oh, you want me? Yeah, I'll fucking fight you. You want to fight? I'll fight you." It's not gonna get that from McGregor. Yeah, but I think Burns is a really great matchup for him.
Man, and another thing, just with the call out, too fucking long. Your granddaddy's a hoe, your dad's a hoe, your mom's a hoe, you're a hoe. Like, it was just way too long. At this point, I was not.
It was funny though.
I did not give a damn. I was just like, okay, it's McGregor, and you're going off on this. Let's just move on to the next one now. He could have done that long of a call out saying, Wonder Boy, you're a bitch. I could beat you. Burns, I'll crumble your chin. Just something like that. But we all know that the McGregor call out lands on deaf ears because you're not getting a McGregor call out or a McGregor.
Payday. He wants the payday.
Oh, everybody wants some red panties. I'll put them on for a McGregor fight. Give me 2,000. I'll take it. YB.
I was just gonna say I like the Connor call out only because I think it gave him a lot more eyes. Like headline wise, I think this whole week you're gonna see people. Oh, Buckley called McGregor out. Buckley called McGregor out. Blah 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 blah. Blah. Like you're gonna see it a lot. Um, as for all the hoes and the other shit, as I was half asleep during this card, I had smoked a lot, so I was like half dead. But I like the Connor call out just because of the meme.
Yeah, I can see that. On to the main event. I'm going to go on a Derek Lewis rant towards the end. So we'll save that to the end. Um, yeah, my phone was at 1%. I went ahead, put on the dam. I'm on this fucking giant boat in the middle of the Mississippi River, with some white dude that was really, really fucking pissed. I don't know why. I was like, bro, enjoy yourself. We're on a big boat. And my phone's at 1%. Fucking didn't get to watch the fight. Got home at about 2 in the morning, from walking Bourbon Street, and put it on. Got to watch that. But Derek Lewis was the closing leg on another four leg, that put me at 7.5 units profit for the night. Fucking Robellis, you son of a bitch. If you would have gotten that knockout, it would have been like a 13 night unit. But hey, we can't be mad. We can't be mad at any kind of profit. So Derek Lewis goes ahead and does what he does, gets the knockout. YB, I know you and I were talking about him getting taken down by Nascimento, and he did. Um, like I said, I'll save it because I'm going to rant a little bit, and I want to let y'all go ahead and get the mic. Let me go through some of these lines. Derek Lewis minus 155. Scroll down for fight ends inside the distance minus 1,000. Hope nobody put that on there because you cashed. But are you happy about your 4 cents? Scrolling down to Lewis wins inside the distance minus 155. Lewis wins by knockout minus 160. That's just weird, huh? Wins inside the distance minus 155. Wins by knockout minus 160. 60. They were like, yeah, you'll get a little bit of better odds because that sub is not going to fucking happen. Scroll down. Lewis in round 3 plus 1,000. Love to see that. If that's probably one of those damn Aussie lines. You see those stupid numbers and you go ahead and put a couple shekels on it just to say you did and cash crazy on the chance. And Lewis round 3 knockout plus 1,200. Aussie, and then pass it to Za.
Yeah, I actually did see some people out there with the plus 1,500 on that round three. Didn't have it myself. Wish I did. Kicking myself. Should have had some round two, round three. But didn't hit it. But man, he's funny, man. Everything he does is amazing. That the UFC loves this guy. Has there ever been a guy with less skill have so much fucking success? If this guy didn't have hammers on his fists, he'd be one of the worst heavyweights we've seen, man. But he just knocks people the fuck out, man. He's got that power. He just takes people out. And then on the mic, everybody loves him. Everyone wants to see what he's going to do, hear what he's going to say. This dude is just amazing. He's what the UFC is all about. He's a fun character. He's doing everything right. He's talking shit, but he's funny. You know, he's not out there being an asshole or being a prick. His Instagram is all funny, you know. Fucking yeah, I don't know, man. There's no one that can hate the Black Beast, but yeah, if he didn't have them hands, man, if he didn't have them bungalows, he would not be a great fighter. But yeah, he's out there throwing, jumping, fucking kicks, and he's just all over the joint. And then, but then every now and then he gets bored, and so he just fucking knocks you out. And he just does it over and over again. I think he's got the most knockouts in UFC history. Just insane, man. I love this guy. I'm always going to be a fan of him. It's going to be sad when he starts to lose, if he starts to lose that power, because he's just going to get run over by everybody. But man, when he decides to get up and just sits up, it's the fucking funniest thing I've ever seen. It's like it would be a bullshit WWE character. someone who just gets up whenever, like the Undertaker shit. These guys are on top of him, they end in elbows, then he just gets up and they fall off him. It's hilarious. Yeah, so big fan of his. Unfortunately, I just had some money line. Like you said, the KO versus the money line was really no difference. So I just had some money line, but yeah, I wish I had some of that round three KO for sure.
Za.
Yeah, I agree with Aussie again, man. Derek Lewis, just he's the man. But for Nascimento, bro, why are you gonna go in the pocket with a guy that you know got the power and can knock you out? Like his best chance was the takedown. He got that, but didn't do much with it. Couldn't get Derek Lewis out of there. He kind of like I think Lewis got tired a little bit, but then like third round found his win, landed that punch, and it was just over.
So yeah, like I said, I got a lot to say about this fight. First off, people complaining about a Lewis main event. You've got the Black Beast. First of all, heavyweights, right? Second of all, it's in St. Louis. Definitely his demographic. Um, Third, I mean, the people fucking love him. The people love him. Earlier in the week, I was thinking I kind of wish Buckley would have gotten his chance to shine and have the main event, but people love Lewis. They do. So I ain't mad at him getting the main event. Second of all, I would really love to see Bob Perez, his coach, um, have the opportunity to coach an elite fighter. Um, you go back and listen to the corner between every single round, and he was spitting some fucking great knowledge to Derek Lewis. It sucks that he has Derek Lewis and Kevin Holland as his two main fighters because Kevin Holland is gonna follow no fucking game plan, and Derek Lewis just has the nuclear option, so he doesn't really have to do much either. Um, but yeah, Bob Perez had some great corner work in between rounds. And third, when it comes to Derek Lewis and his skills, you look at it, he's only ever gotten subbed by Daniel Cormier and Sergey Spivak. That's impressive for one, because he does get taken down. Two, you kind of got to take him down by toppling him over, doing some trips, because he has the very good basics of digging for that underhook, and he's a fucking machine that can just flip you off of him whenever he wants when he gets that underhook in. So takedown defense, I'm not even mad at it. Like, he's gonna get taken down a couple times, but he's got ridiculous powers to just stand up. He showed a good job. Nascimento, I get it. Lewis has a big old stomach. Hard to put that fucking body triangle on him. But when he got reversed, when he had his back, he didn't even have one leg in, or he only had one leg in. The other one was wrapped around the backside of his thigh. So it was like, what the fuck are you doing, especially with somebody this strong? Turned into him. And lastly, I think Lewis did a great job. I know people were criticizing him about going for takedowns and initiating the clinch against somebody who's going to want to do that to him. But I don't know. I watched the fight two times last night after everything was done, and I think Lewis went in there with that game plan on purpose. You want to grapple, you want to clinch. I'm going to do it to you, tire you out, make you feel comfortable, make you think that I'm not the one that wants to strike with you, give each other that self of security. Him knowing that I can always strike you and knock you out with one punch, and have you thinking I'm going to do this. And then Nascimento thinking, oh, this guy doesn't even want to strike with me. He wants to just go ahead and grapple. That one time Nascimento did take the back, it was off of a failed takedown from Derek Lewis. Just kind of those little mind games. It's Derek Lewis is the perfect possum player, and I really think going for all this clinching and grappling was right in the game plan to lull Nascimento into a false self of security and get him with that huge overhand right that put him out. Put him out. I think he woke up too after a couple of shots, but Derek Lewis closes the parlay for me. Um, yeah, just I was very impressed by this fight, and the corner work and his game plan and his ability to stop takedowns when he needed to, and do what he does. 15 knockouts, 15 finishes. Charles Oliveira better be fighting until he's 37 years old, because Derek Lewis is not going away anywhere. I remember when he signed this last 8 fight contract, people were talking about, oh, that's the retirement contract. He's done. He's going to retire in a couple of years. Well, he's almost done with that contract. And I said it when they signed that he's going to fly through these fucking fights. 8 fights is nothing for somebody like Derek Lewis. He's going to knock people out in fucking 16 seconds, and it's on to the next one. So, Derek Lewis is probably going to be getting a new contract pretty damn soon, and he's going to be getting paid big, big, big fucking bucks. So very happy for him. Anybody? Anybody?
Um, yeah, I think he's getting old though. That's the thing. Like, how many more fights you really think he got left?
I mean, 39 at heavyweight, or 38. I think he's gonna turn 39. Not too old. He's gonna, like, dude. We got Andre Arlovsky doing it for fucking. He's 45 and doing it, and Arlovsky doesn't have Lewis knockout power. Like, I think Derek Lewis is going to sit around and try and cash as many checks for as long as he can, even though he's been saying that he doesn't like fighting from his fourth fight in the UFC. And that was it, man. That was all of UFC St. Louis. We flew through this fucking card pretty damn quick, even with me having a couple of rants. Got some time. If y'all want to talk about the next fight, throw some hands up or anything, go ahead and let me know. Going once, going
Yeah,
twice.
let's do that thing you used to do, like pick a fight and talk about it next week or some shit like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me pull up the card here.
This
Um,
this card's kind of like not that good though.
is this Apex? Does anybody know?
It's
Has to be, right?
It better be, because imagine paying for tickets for this.
Come on,
Barboza versus Murphy.
nobody wants to see the ear.
No.
Nobody wants to see Rami's Brahimaj on the
Who
main
the
card.
I want to see that fight, the Garimbo fight, and that bloke. I watched a bunch of Garimbo's fights today. Yeah, I'm excited for that fight.
I think that one's gonna
Angelo?
be a little.
My
My
fault.
bad. So I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. I think the Garembo fight is gonna be a little interesting because Brahimaj does fancy himself a grappler as well. Um,
Yeah,
I mostly know him because of the ear. If y'all haven't, go back. I think it was, oh yeah, Max Payne Griffin versus Ramiz Brahimaj. Max lands an elbow from inside the clinch and literally chops his fucking ear off. It's hanging by the earlobe. One of the most disgusting
you
injuries.
want to know something? I was looking for that fight um, before jumping on this space actually, and it's not on Fight Pass.
Oh, they probably don't want to show
So
that.
yeah, I looked under Max Griffin, I looked under Brahimov, whatever his name is, and then I even looked up the fight card. And on the fight card, it doesn't show the prelims. It must have been on a prelim. So the whole fight is not there. So I'm gonna have to go search for it because yeah, it is fucked up, and I do want to watch it again.
Yeah, I want to see that now that you say that.
Oh, if you look it up, just go to Google and look up Rami's Brahimaj ear. There's pictures of it. It's fucking disgusting. But did you say Angela Hill, Za?
Yeah, that freaking person of a person. She's fighting, and she's a favorite.
Well, really? I do love me some Angela Hill. That's always a free over. Luana Pinheiro. Off the top of my mind, she's not really bringing up any memories like to where I can just go ahead and spit something. But love an Angela Hill fight, and yeah, I just love Angela Hill in general. See, she's coming off of a loss to Amanda Reba. Oh yeah, this was that fight where she beat the shit out of Rebus in the first round, and then got knocked out with the spinning heel kick there in the last couple of seconds, right?
I gotta see this one too because I didn't see that.
Yeah, yeah, no, she had Amanda Ribas on all kinds of wobbly feet in the first round, and kind of blew her wad. And Amanda Ribas came out, started putting the pressure, and landed a spinning heel kick straight to the temple, and ended it with 3 minutes and 53 seconds. But before that, I mean, she has
Oh,
a win over Michelle Waterson Gomez, Sam Hughes, Randa Marcos, Stephanie Frost. So that was her first loss in the UFC. So interesting fight, but I'll probably be leaning Angela Hill by decision.
I like that. And you said the over. I'm definitely gonna throw that in my parlay. The over for sure.
Aussie, I gotta ask you about Abu Smagomedov versus Warley Alves. Have you seen anything on it?
Yeah, man. This is crazy. Alves isn't as old as I thought, man. Um, Unless the numbers were wrong, what I was looking at, but I don't know, man. Abusa's last fight. Shit, who was it against? It was real recent.
I'm pulling it up. Lost against
Brahalio.
Aldo Harlow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. He really didn't push the pace on Abuse, like to give him that chance to really tire and gas out. I think Alves is dumb enough to really try and gas him out early. I think he's going to go in like a little ball of energy and kind of hope for the best. There must be a decent height discrepancy in this fight.
I'm pulling that up right now. 5'11" for Warley, 6'2" for Abus. But
He's
Abus
4-1.
looks like,
Okay, so not too
He's
crazy.
four and
I
one in
mean,
his last 5 matches. Alves. Like he lost. I mean,
It's
he's
crazy,
one and
right?
four. He's 1-4. He's won one time, lost four
They-
times.
They're both 33 years old. I thought Alves was like pushing 40, man.
we've seen him.
I
We've
don't know
seen him in
why.
the UFC for quite a while. His first fight was in 2014.
He beat up my boy Ben. Ben Wall, I think it was in Australia. I was at that fight. He fucking knocked him out, if I'm not wrong.
Might be looking at somebody else.
He beat Kobe Covington. This Alves
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, he subbed him very, very early. That was
What?
like that was his
Oh, guillotine choke. Yeah,
mm,
I remember that too. Yeah.
that was his name to fame, or however that expression goes. I just think Abus is going to be ginormous, and we saw Warley go ahead and push the pace on Ikram Alaskarov, and Abus might not be Ikram level good, but don't press the pace on somebody this giant with some pretty decent power. We saw how fucking Abus put it on Sean Strickland for a round. Um, Warley is probably not Sean Strickland good either, so I'll probably be on Abus there.
Same. Ikram beat both of them though.
Yeah, got to kind of just worry about that gas tank though.
Yeah,
The gas tank of Abus.
he does fade out in the
Yeah.
later rounds for sure. He did in that Ikram fight at least, and Sean Strickland.
Have no clue about Aumar Sai. Looks like this is his UFC debut. But we've seen Botello take a fucking beating and knock your ass out. So that'll be a little interesting. You know me, I always ride for the women's fights. Um, we honestly might have a free parlay here looking at it. Angela Hill fight over. Vanessa Dumopoulos versus Emily Ducote. That is definitely going to be an over unless Vanessa just gets a random submission. And then Piera Rodriguez versus Ariane Carnelossi, two Brazilian women that are on all the fucking juice in the world. Um, that's gonna be an over as well. They both like to push the pace. They both like to strike, and they both like to mix in the grappling. Gonna be a pretty even fight. That one I'm pretty excited about, to be honest. Piera Rodriguez, Ariane Carnelossi. I know every guy in this chat wishes they had Ariane Carnelossi's body. I know I do.
What's up?
I was go look at a picture of this.
maybe for a day, man.
She's jacked though in her the picture on UFC.
Yeah, yeah. She got arms, boy.
What's crazy?
So real quick,
What's crazy
I
is she
was,
looks like
I
she
was
has Paulo Costa's biceps. Sorry, Aussie, take it.
yeah. So just going back, I did have Wally Alves mixed up with Alex Garcia. Do you remember him, the Dominican Nightmare?
Uh,
I don't know why I had Wally Alves and him mixed up, but
look, Aussie, I'm gonna stop you there because the only Dominican I know is Waldo, Waldo, Waldo. I'm
Dude,
seeing a lot of love
yeah,
for Tom Nolan, especially after everybody got burned on his last fight. Any ideas on that one, guys?
we
probably
haven't touched on it at
a
all yet.
bounce back for him. Well, he only he's like a Terrence McKinney knockout or bust. Well, he only lost one time, so maybe he's gonna bounce back.
I mean, they're giving him a guy that has not fought in quite a while. Jordan Levitt has already been cut from the UFC, if I'm not mistaken, and that was his last fight. So
Wait, Jordan
It,
Levy got cut.
I think so. I haven't seen him in quite a while.
I remember his last fight. He lost one time, but he I don't really remember. But how about this dude Martinez? You know anything else about him? Says he got 8 TKOs.
No, I don't know shit about Martinez.
the brick, they call him the brick. Means he's either got one punch power or
Where's he gonna?
under those shorts he's got a fucking
Oh, I
weapon.
was gonna say where he's gonna drop like a brick. Um, but man, Yanez has got to be getting a bounce back fight, right?
True.
Vinicius Salvador.
He's a fade. Salvador, I know he's a fade for sure.
Like it's major red flags if Yanez doesn't come out here and finish this guy in 2 rounds, in my opinion. Like
Him minus 400 though, that's kind of sketchy too. Though I never seen him. I mean, I did see him high that once, but he lost, I believe.
yeah, man. This is gonna be one of those cards where you got to watch out on a lot of these lines. Um, up to the main event. Oh man, we even have another women's fight. Fucking look, hey, I'm
It's crazy that the weak fights on here, man.
I
They're
am.
putting all these chick fights. Is it three or four?
It's one, two,
Four. It's
yeah,
four.
three, four. Look, I'm always stepping up for the women. I'm always hyping up the women fight. Keep it to three, guys. I can only do so much. Keep it to fucking three.
Yeah, this card's really thin. I don't see, like, I don't really care. I'll watch it, but yeah, this card's really, really thin. I gotta admit, even on my most glaziest of days.
Yo,
Look,
what
I
about
will.
chaos though? You guys never talked about that. That's gonna be a huge fight.
Kind of weird
Yeah, I
for.
already got a little money on Chaos, man. I think he's going to end up. I think a lot of money's going to come in on him. To be honest, I think that's the line that familiar name everyone knows, and that's probably the line that's going to move. So I
Chaos
got on him
robbed my
early.
primo, so I don't like him.
You said what?
He robbed my primo.
He for what? He's from like Detroit or something. How do you rob your primo?
Yeah, bro, he robbed our homie last time out.
Well, I had chaos that last fight. So I don't think he robbed me.
Oh, against Bedoya, yeah, that was major fraud check against Bedoya.
Oh, I remember that fight. He did kind of like lose
Rolando,
that
yeah, he
Peruvian
robbed
guy,
my
right?
primo Rolando.
Nah. I remember he trains with I forget who he trains with someone good, I believe. But he had like blonde hair, right? He's a Peruvian kid.
Yeah, yeah, he does the frosted tips like he's a fucking part of
Yeah,
NC.
he's Peruvian. His name is Rolando Bedoya.
I know Better Times likes this dude Harris though.
Oh, I don't know, man. I really don't have a take on that one so far. I know both of the guys. Um, Chaos is just one of those guys that I've bet on him and won, but every time I bet against him, wait, every time no, I don't know I don't know what I'm saying. I can't get Chaos right. Is what I'm trying to say.
Usman fell asleep.
Yo, can you hear me?
No, I can hear you. I feel you. Not for me.
Oh,
That last fight versus Bedoya, he kind of did like he was one of my favorite fighters until that fight. I kind of lost a lot of respect for him in that fight. He didn't look too good.
man, I know a lot of people are shitting on this main event, Enzo Barboza versus Lerone Murphy. I really think this is gonna be a good fucking fight. Um,
Has Usman been talking, or is my mic messed up or something? Because I can't. I haven't heard Usman talking like 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. You might have to come back in, mate. He's been talking.
Yep, he's been talking. If you can't hear Aussie either,
he's gone, but he'll be back. YB always comes back. Yeah, man. I think the Barbosa Murphy fight is actually gonna be pretty damn good. Like everybody was counting Barboza out against Yusuf, and he got chin checked there in that first round. But we're gonna see a very good fucking striking match here, and I don't know. It might be hard to cash in on the old vet to pull it off 2 times in a row, but I might be wanting to take that chance. Anybody on Barboza?
I like the over. I'm surprised you didn't say the over.
What is it set at?
I don't know,
I
but
don't know,
it's
but
five
it's
rounds.
5 rounds. Yeah, that's
I
got
d-
me nervous too because I do like Barboza, but that 4 and 5 rounds has got me nervous, man.
True, the last four and fifth is gonna be a sweat probably. What you
I
guys
just
think this
don't.
fight? You could
I
go. Who's my fault?
No, that's cool. I just don't want to see an untested fucking Lerone Murphy go out there and get hit hard, and we have to fucking look for a 4.5 rounds. I'm looking at it right now. A 4.5 rounds, and then we get fucked over because he can't finish the damn fight. I don't even see it here on Bet Online. Yeah, 4.5 rounds, and under is at -150, over +120. So if you think this is going to decision, you can hit some of that right now and get some plus money.
Nah, like you said, I think it's those four and fifth rounds is gonna be nail biting because this dude's undefeated, bro.
And Lerone's
Yeah,
good,
I might
man.
have some fight ends round 4 or 5 to be honest to go with my Barboza bet just in case he does go down in those later rounds, man.
Jesus Christ, I see that you posted that ears, um, God damn, I'm telling you, that ear was fucking hanging on for dear life.
Yeah, that was fucked. Do
I do
you
remember
Uh,
that. That
remember
was mad long ago,
James
though.
Thompson, that big English heavyweight? His ear exploded in a fight. It might have been the Kimbo fight. Did he fight Kimbo? I
Oh,
can't remember. But his ear
that's
definitely fucking
disgusting.
exploded.
That's nasty.
Definitely up there for one of the worst cuts that we've seen. So I am going to go ahead and lock in a parlay right now. I do not put. Hey, UFC.com said that it was Haley Cohen versus Tamrez Vidal. But here on Bet Online, it's actually Melissa Gatto versus Tamrez Vidal. Cohen did drop out, right?
I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
on
yeah,
ES.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Oh, she did. So there's gonna be a less fight on this card.
No,
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 no.
no.
It's
We're
been
still getting another
replaced.
woman.
Oh, replacement, short notice.
Hey, but none
Wait,
of y'all can be mad at looking at Melissa Gatto roll around on the floor. I think that
Well,
actually, I think that actually might be the parlay buster if you want to take the over on all the women's fight because Vidal's gonna try and get it to the ground, and Gato has got them slick ass submissions with them long ass arms and legs. That could be a little scary.
I feel like a lot of over is gonna happen in this card though. The way he making it sound,
We'll see. We'll see what the strat says. As of right now, I mean, -400, -400, -250. All the overs on Carnelossi, Vanessa Dumopoulos, and the Angela Hill fight. That is sitting at +119. I'm probably going to lock that in right now.
do that
Um,
now before it gets worse. The line's definitely gonna go. it's gonna go away.
100%. Because even when Luana got knocked out in this last fight, it was very late. Angela Hill is. I don't give a damn about her age or how long she's been doing it. She's taken some nasty ass shots. She's always gonna be tough enough to make it to the end. I'm locking it in. Plus 119, three leg, three women's overs. Why not, right? You hate
Nah,
money?
I would do that. What book is that?
Bet online. Bet online. The overs are already set.
Oh shit, I don't think I got that, but yeah, I like those three you said. I don't know about the one that Vidal one, but I like the other three for sure.
Yeah, we've kind of already talked about a little bit about every fucking fight on here. Um, does anybody know anything about that Umar C guy that Bellato was fighting?
I don't.
Yeah. The only one we didn't touch a little bit was Alatang Haley versus Clayton Rodriguez. I know Clayton has probably been off of a layoff. I'm going to check right here to see when his last fight was. Um, 2023 September, so I guess not too long ago. But it was against Fired Bashrat, got subbed and won. Um, hasn't had any fucking fight time then. And then Alatang Haley, it's like it's a double-edged sword betting on these fucking Mongolians. I like them. I like them, but they do not make the fucking best decisions. Like Chris Gutierrez had a pretty fucking easy win, just playing matador and fucking kicking the legs, hitting him with that jab. At least you know he's gonna put on the fucking pace, right?
I kind of like Rodriguez in that fight.
Uh, I was about to say I kind of like Alatang Haley, so if if we're split, I'm not betting on it.
Well, that's just I don't know. I gotta tape that one for sure. I probably won't touch that fight though. But the Angela Hill, the over under is minus 400 right now. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Hit that parlay right now,
Yeah, I
because
gotta get it now.
I really think that's cashing. Well, we had that drunk guy come in here and yell at me about Lomachenko and Kambosos. Did anybody watch? I was fucking at a Brazilian steakhouse stuffed to the fucking throat with meat.
Whoa!
Pause.
Hey, yeah,
Pause.
no,
Pause.
yeah.
Um, watching that on the damn TV, and I honestly didn't even know if it was live. I was like, is this a real fight? Is it a rerun? Who gives a damn? Good for Lomachenko, I guess, right? He came back from the rough patch that he had been, losing to fucking what was it, Teofimo, and then Devin Haney.
Yep. But he put on a clinic. I would say he did really good job for sure.
But that's the thing, right? Like Cambosis is just gonna be known for that flukish win over Teofimo, and like he's not the best at all.
Lomachenko is
He,
just on another level. I think though. My fault, Aussie.
yeah, no, I was just going to say I watched a bunch of Lomachenko fights. I've been to a bunch of. I went to both the really well. He's made a lot of money fighting guys that just want to have his name on their record, you know. So hats off to him. He's made a lot of money. He's not top five, you know, he never will be. But hats off to him. Made a lot of money. Did some really good stuff for Australian boxing. So other than that, yeah, he's just a name now. It's just a name on someone's record, unfortunately.
His dad had to throw in the towel.
Oh, I saw that he did throw in the towel,
Yeah, it
right?
was last
But
round, right? Or last what round was it? It was really
I
late.
think it could have been
11th.
12.
I want to say it was the
Yeah,
11th.
It was somewhere
yeah, it was
around there.
11th or 12th. Yeah.
Yeah, man. When you get hit to the body, like you're
All right,
just
fellas, I'm going to bounce out. I will go back and listen to the start of the show, especially if fucking Usman's getting yelled at. Um,
oh Oh, this
Have a good
this
one,
John
guys,
wanted to
and
talk
good luck
about
this weekend.
everything
I'm
other
sure
than the
I'll
fight
talk to you
cards.
at some stage during the week.
Later, Ozzy.
See, I always appreciate you coming out, man. Thank you. And hey, I guess he's dipping out at the perfect part of the show because we've been going on for an hour and a half. Once again, apologies. I started at 30 minutes late. Fucking, I need to get my ass in bed, man. 10-hour drive from Louisiana, New Orleans. But hey, uh, got to see a lot of ass shaking and
Yeah,
wild, wild activities on Bourbon Street.
that's so far. You're so lucky for living out there.
Oh man, I was we got into bed at 2 in the morning. I didn't go to bed till 4 in the morning, having to wake up knowing I got to drive to basically Mexico. Um, yeah, I'm beat. I'm beat. It was a long ass week. I'll catch y'all later, guys. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate y'all coming by. Za, YB, Aussie, you're already gone, but love y'all. Much appreciated. Let's make some money this weekend.
Cap MMA. Deuces.
Cap and May all day, baby.